What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Gemini just got much smarter, and by that I mean that it has finally retained all of the functions that you used to be able to do in Assistant, at least as far as I can tell. If there's anything missing, please let me know in the comments. So what I mean by this is recently Gemini updated. Now, some of these features might have already been available on your Google Pixel device, but for devices like the Samsung Fold and the Samsung S series, these were not available, and it drove me absolutely crazy. And up until now, I was actually using the old Google Assistant until they just released these features. I'm going to go to our app info really quick here. And if I scroll down, we are on version 1.1.686588.308. And this is the version that you will need to get all of these new functions. So if we go into Gemini here and we go up to our settings and we go into extensions. Now there were already extensions available for Gemini, but they added a few new ones and also updated one that I noticed didn't actually work properly prior. There are always Google Flights, hotels. Google Workspace was updated, and one that was added that is brand new is this utilities one. And what the utilities one does, it allows you to do system settings on your phone. So for example, if you wanted to take a screenshot or turn on and off your Wi-Fi, or set an alarm, you can now finally do that within Gemini. So I'll show you guys what I mean here. So with this one turned off, and I go ahead and activate Gemini. Right now I have Gemini as my default. I changed it to the default. I have it set so I have a corner command down in this bottom corner here. So when I pull up from this corner, it'll bring up my assistant. Let's do a quick test here. And I guess since we're in the app, we can just use this microphone icon. So if I have that utilities one turned off, see what happens. Turn off Wi-Fi.
Sorry, I can't help with that. You can control settings on your device using the Settings app.
Turn on power save mode.
Sorry, I can't help with that. You can control settings on your device using the Settings app.
Okay, so what we can do, we can go into our extensions now, and I'll show you guys now that this is turned on, that these features will now work. And like I said, these features already worked on Pixel devices. For some reason, they added additional compatibility with their own phones. I guess that makes sense. But for the Samsung phones, they were left in the dark for a few months while they got things figured out. So now let's do it here again. Turn off Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi turned off.
So you can see up in the top right that Wi-Fi was turned off. Turn on Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi turned on.
And give it a second here. And Wi-Fi was turned on. So same thing, you can do other system settings like I shown you earlier, the power save. Turn on power saving mode.
Power saving mode turned on.
Turn off power save.
Power saving mode turned off.
Okay, so there are some other settings here as well. Hey Google, take a screenshot.
Sure, taking a screenshot.
Here's the screenshot, and it worked. Take a photo.
Taking a photo.
And there you go, it took a photo. My phone is face down on the desk, so it's just a black screen, but you can see that the camera is still working here. So, some other things you can do now, you can also open up apps. Open up Chrome. The utilities one is awesome. It takes all those features that were not currently in Gemini and already in Assistant and adds them to the device. And like I said, if there's any ones that you guys know of that still don't work on Gemini, let me know. I'm curious to know as well. Another one that I noticed is it seems that the Home Assistant works better as well. So I can activate one of my routines here. So one of my routines is a good night routine. What it does is it turns off all the lights in my house, and then it also puts my phone into a do not disturb state. And I have that set up just by saying the command good night. So let's see if that works. Essentially, we'll know, and I'll let you guys know. You can't see here, but all my lights will go off. Actually, I could show you guys with the camera. Good night.
Good night, boss.
Yep, and that ended up working. You can see in the top left that the do not disturb mode activated. I actually use Home Assistant to enable that. And I know you're just taking my word for it here, but if I turn on my camera, you can see that I am sitting in the dark right now. And might as well use my other Home Assistant routine, so let's do that one real quick as well. Good morning.
Hello, boss. It's 2:16
This one does the
p.m.
opposite.
In Denver, it's 62 and partly
Turns on all the
cloudy.
lights in my
Today,
house.
It'll be partly cloudy with a high of 62
And then tells me
and
the
a low
weather.
of 37.
And the next one that they added, and this one was actually already there, was already available, was the Google Workspace. However, I found that certain things in the Google Workspace still didn't work. Like one of them, for example, was adding an item to my grocery list. And it would say, sorry, I can't do that. And on my Pixel, I have the Pixel 9 Pro XL as well. It worked fine on that device, but it would not work with Gemini on my Samsung device. And now I think they have finally updated this to make that work. So let's do a quick test here. Add bacon to my grocery list.
Sure, added.
And there you go. It went and found my grocery list in my keep notes. And here's some of my other items I've added in the past. So that now works as well, which was pretty much the reasoning why I was still using the old assistant. Is that was one of the features I use probably the most. That and also setting reminders. I was having issues with setting reminders. So that's another one that's been improved as well. Set reminder.
Okay. A reminder to set reminder. Do you want to add a time?
So see, this one's still not working very well. It said a reminder to set reminder, which makes no sense at all. So maybe they still have a few bugs to ink out, but they'll eventually fix it, I'm sure. So we can try that one more time, I guess. Set a reminder to put dishes in dishwasher.
Okay. A reminder to put dishes in dishwasher. Do you want to add a time?
Today at 8 p.m.
Okay. You've got a reminder for 8 p.m. tonight called Put Dishes in Dishwasher.
Okay, so it still kind of works. You have to do the entire command all at once. So you have to say set reminder with the reminder after it, instead of just set reminder and then it asks you what the reminder is. So I think there are still some bugs that they need to work out with that one. And the last thing here that they've added is a way to interact with YouTube as an extension, as well as YouTube Music. So I personally use both of these. So what you can do is I could say, play YouTube Music.
Here's YouTube Music.
Okay, and there it goes. It started playing my Super Mix. I'll have to turn down the volume here so I don't get a copyright strike. And I can go ahead and change the tracks. So if I do that, if I go back, next track. So this time it brought up utilities to change the next track, and it did end up going to another track, as you can see here. And then one last thing you can do, what is the top video on YouTube today?
Here are some of the trending videos on YouTube today.
And there you
To
go.
Brawl
It told
and
me
Beyond
what the top trending
by Brawl
videos for the
Stars.
day are.
This is the world's
I'm not sure how that
spiciest
could be
cheese
super
by Mark
useful.
Robber.
For me,
This
I
Slinky Can
obviously
Walk
just go
Forever
into the YouTube
by Mark
app and
Robber. Steps
click on
Rock,
what I want.
official
But I
music
guess
video
if you were
by Real Steps.
interested,
What if we
you
made a
could easily
camera
get an
that sees
update
in
of what's
reverse? By
trending
Stuff Made
by
Here.
just
These
using
are
that
just a
simple
few
voice
of the many
command.
trend-
And then I know a lot of people that use Samsung devices, they do still prefer to use Bixby. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Use Bixby as well as using Gemini or also the Google Assistant. So what you can do, you can go to your settings here and you can go to advanced features on your Samsung phone. And then right here, you have this Bixby. you can go in here and tell it what your wake up command will be for it. You could do either this one or this one here. I like to do hi with it and then respond to my voice. And I have this turned off because I think it was accidentally activating. But essentially now you have access to both assistants. So on my home screen here, I could say, hi, Bixby. And you can see there that Bixby started popping up. And so essentially you can use both in conjunction depending on the task that you're trying to complete. And then same thing here. Hey, Google. And there it pops up there. And I use Google as my default assistant. I also have a gesture setting. So when I pull from the bottom corner, it'll pop up here. And I might as well just show you guys where that's at as well while we're here. So we're going to go down to display. And then scroll down to navigation bar. And in this case, I am using gestures. I think you can only use this with gestures. Let's do a quick test here. Oh no, it does look like it'll work with the buttons as well. So it doesn't matter which one you're using, but what you're looking for is this here, the Assistant app. So if you have this turned on and you swipe from the bottom corner of your screen, anywhere in any app, it'll bring up your assistant. So if you wanted it to be Bixby, you could go down to apps in your settings towards the bottom and then choose default apps. And then right here, digital assistant app. You can click on this and you can change it to be whatever you want. So like I said, right now I'm using Google as my default, but you could have Bixby as your default. And then you could activate Google using the key phrase, or vice versa. So anyway, that'll do it for this video. If you guys have any questions or comments, let me know down below. Consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, have a wonderful day.